What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 86. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and today I'm joined by Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Kevin. How are you, brother?
I'm all right. I think my mic's sounding better than ever.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
tweaking
sounding
it.
crispy.
Yeah, working on it.
We're getting better every day.
Better every day. That is accurate. You know who is not looking better than ever though is the future esports himself, Aman. He's on vacation using a nice 420p web. That's not even a resolution, but it's a very low resolution camera. Aman, how you doing? How's your vacation going?
It's going great. Hopefully, you guys can hear the dog now that I'm talking. But yeah, it's going great so far. Happy to be here.
Oh, the dog is running wild in those streets. Tell you what,
Pretty
boys.
wild, yeah.
And if you like this podcast, we are usually live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, but special Wednesday episode for you here because of the state of play tomorrow that we will be live reacting to. So if you're listening to this, I don't know, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you're like, hey, I think it'd be fun to live react with these guys. Come on over, 6 p.m. roughly Eastern Time on Thursday. We're going to live react to the state of play. And if you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning, although this one's going to go up a little earlier because we got something coming out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on all your favorite podcast services. While you're over there, please drop us a rating, a review, whether it's Apple, Spotify. We're almost at 30 on Apple, and I think we're almost at 20. We may have hit 20 on Spotify, but get us up there, guys. It boosts us in those charts and helps us in the discoverability. People find the show, and that helps us grow. If you leave us a 5-star review, you also read it live on the show. If you want to interact with us more, please come join our Discord. That's growing as well. We're in a good little string of growing that Discord right now, having people come in, chat. So come on over. The link is in the description down below. And if you want early access to all of our content, head on over to patreon.com/projectxtalk. For $1 a month, you get all of our content early, plus the Patreon shout out. So thank you to Bucky Blue, Hopple, and Alpaca Tom for supporting us. We appreciate you. But now that we got that out of the way, it's time to start the podcast by going around the room and asking one simple question. And that question is, what you playing? So, Aman, I'm going to throw it to you first because you are on vacation, and I think it'll be a very short segment from you.
All right, so I've been playing a bunch of mobile games, for my traveling, and I've tried out a bit of XCloud. So I think a Plague Tale was on XCloud, so I tried that again. I already played it before, but I was just bored
Great choice.
on the flight, so let's give it another shot. So I played the Plague Tale. Yeah, that's about it.
Top 2 of last generation. I stand by that. I stand by that statement.
That's such a crazy take, Kevin.
No,
Okay, his top 2 are Hellblade and a Plague Tale.
100%. I
Oh, man.
maintain that to this day. It's
All
the
right,
only
I
game.
respect it.
It's the only game in recent years I've played through 3 times.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
But Ethan, what have you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing 2 games primarily. The first one being Sniper Elite 5. This is a pretty cool game. I've never played any of the Sniper Elites before this one, so I wanted to give it a shot. And I got to tell you, it reminds me basically exactly like Hitman. I mean, if you told me this was a Hitman game, I would believe you. Except it has obviously a focus on sniper combat, which is really, really well done. They have really realistic gun physics in this. And it's just a really, really exciting game all around. The maps in it are huge. They're beautiful. They're really well done. The voice acting in it is top notch. Overall, just a really, really fun experience. I rolled credits on it in 3 days. It's not too long of a game. It really depends on the pace that you want to play, whether you want to do the side missions and get all the collectibles and stuff like that. I think it has a little bit of everything for people that like third-person shooters. So yeah, that was really exciting to be able to play through that. And then the second one I played is, I think, Kevin, you're going to want to talk about this too, and that's KO the Kangaroo. I have very, very mixed feelings about this game. In terms of, if you're a fan of 3D platformers, this is going to be for you. I mean, this is a classic 3D platformer. It's fairly polished. It's fairly well done. There's some glitches. I'm sure Kevin will talk about that. But in terms of just the gameplay, the combat, everything like that, it is just a traditional 3D platformer. It doesn't blow your socks off. The combat is very simplified. It's pretty much just mashing X and hitting Y every now and again. There's not too many crazy mechanics to go through. It's a very, very easy game. And then where it kind of drops off for me is the story is just nothing to me. There is no story to this game. I mean, there is, but to me, it's just boring. And the voice acting is beyond egregious to the point where it really affects how you play the game. Cutscenes are abominable. It's hard to sit through them. You end up just skipping the cutscenes. It doesn't really matter because there is really no story anyways. But for those of you that are like really, really into 3D platformers, I think this is a really good game for you guys to jump into. It's a very quick, maybe 10-hour experience if you want to go through and do all the collectathons and stuff like that. It'll scratch that itch for 3D platformers for a while. But overall, for somebody who's a casual fan like me of 3D platformers, or someone who's just looking for a game to play, maybe avoid this one. If it's on Game Pass, go for it. But the fact of the matter is you have to pay $30 for this, and I don't think it's worth that much.
Ooh, okay, all right. I was gonna say I'm gonna talk about KO last, but you just brought some fire, okay? And
all right.
now I feel like I need to respond because
defend your KO.
$30 is a perfect price point for this game.
Yes, it's a good price point, but what I'm saying is I just wouldn't spend money on it, period. Like I if I were a casual player, if I wasn't like a super fan of 3D platformers or had that nostalgia for KO from back in the day, there's no point in wasting your time with this. Go find something else. Go play another game that you haven't played before. Go into your backlog. There's no point in getting this one.
Ooh, I firmly disagree with you.
All right.
So first of all, I've been glad to hear other people on other in other podcasts been playing this game. I know Hoglaw over on Bitcast was playing it. I genuinely love this game. I think this is a fantastic 3D platformer. If you like those mascot platformers, it's very polished for a 3D platformer. Does it do anything inventive or new? Absolutely not.
No.
Is the most it is literally by the book 3D platforming. You have hub worlds with like 4 or 5 levels in each hub world, and you have collectibles in the levels. You get his name, letters, and you collect some scrolls. It's nothing revolutionary, but it is exactly what I was looking for. I absolutely adore that. Like, this is the kind of game that I enjoy. I sit down and I enjoy playing. Like, I'm always gonna have a smile on my face. I think it's fun. Finding the secrets is a blast in this game. I will agree with you. Absolutely terrible voice acting. Egregiously so. And
looks like a college film project somebody was doing voicing for. It's terrible.
The chat says, would you vehemently disagree with him? I would vehemently disagree with you, except about the voice acting.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about, though. For you, is you're a huge fan of those 3D platformers. And like I said, if you like 3D platforms, if that's your bread and butter, absolutely go out and get this. But if you're someone who's looking for something new, something that'll change your perspective on games, or just give you a new experience, this is not it. Go play Psychonauts 2. I mean, there's no reason to play this.
That's fair, because the voice acting and story in this game are drawbacks, because it's literally like, I'm trying to find my family, but who did the takes for this game was like, that's it, you nailed it, that's the one we're going with. Because I'm almost certain they had one dude show up randomly and was like, just say the lines, and he's like, I'm gonna punch you, and I'm like,
the worst thing about it is the worst voice actor is the main character, KO the kangaroo. I mean, that is the absolute worst of all of them. I don't know if they just didn't get applicants. I don't know if they just they couldn't afford to hire anybody, so they just used some random person in house. But it's rough to sit through those cutscenes.
So in the chat we have a question. I don't know if I'm paying $30, this voice acting better be at least good. No, I would say that some of the main character, KO, is the worst offender. I think he's supposed to have an Australian accent, right? but it's not an
There's
Australian
no way
accent.
he's supposed. I mean, is he
I
though?
swear to God, he's supposed to have an Australian accent.
Oh, if that's the case, it makes it even worse.
If not, he just sounds like he's talking with a mouthful of marbles. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, tag me in, coach. I can read the lines better than what he's doing. I swear to God. It's yeah, but that aside,
Yeah.
Lovely 3D platformer. It's tight, it's polished, except for one thing, which I've seen some other people talk about bugs and glitches. I played this on Series X. My entire playthrough was bug and glitch free.
Yeah, same.
I kept in quick resume the whole time. So
Yep.
whether that, I just avoided them by not quitting the game remains to be seen. But I did ultimately have a very disappointing bug because I beat the game last night and I was gonna get the 100%. And then I went because I noticed, hey, my achievement for beating the game unlocked, but not the final boss. And I'm like, how can I beat the game without getting the one for the final boss? And then I noticed, hey, the final boss achievement and beat or kill 5 people with a finishing move are 0%. So clearly those are glitched. I'm like, okay, not a big deal. I'll wait for the patch. So I load back up my save after beating the game. And what do I find? I find that the game has decided to delete hours worth of progress. And not only does it not recognize that I've collected everything, I've beat the final boss, beat the final world, it's like you're going back to the third world before you beat the third boss.
No.
And I'm like, unless they restore my save file, I am done with this game.
Yeah.
And that is heartbreaking to me because I genuinely loved this game and I wanted it to be 100%. It's just incredibly disappointing. Like, I know they put out a message like, hey, there's a patch coming this week. We understand people had some save
It
file
doesn't matter.
issues, but how do you get through play testing a game and not see, hey, guys, you know what? When you beat the game, it just deletes hours of your game progress.
Yeah, it's a trend that's happening more and more in gaming. It happened to me in Dying Light 2, where I pretty much lost my entire save because I attempted the egregious crime of playing multiplayer. So, that's just a punch in the gut right there. At least you got to roll credits on it. I mean, that's good. At least you got
That's true.
the experience out
No,
of
yeah,
it.
absolutely. If I had the game delete my save during it, I would be much more upset. The fact that I
It's
got to
over.
experience the whole game, it eases the blow a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's still ultimately disappointing. I don't think my save file is going to get back. I just don't know how they would do that.
No.
So ultimately, like, I'm probably done. I'm going to wait to see, but it's just another situation. And it's one of those things. I don't know what's going on, but recently I feel like I'm encountering more and more glitched achievements.
Especially with the
Are you
newer
feeling
games.
this?
Yeah, it feels like every new title that comes out, there's at least 1 or 2 achievements that are completely glitched. Sniper Elite 5 doesn't have any of those. I haven't gone 100% because 100%ing that game is a pain in the butt, probably 100 plus hours, and I don't feel like doing it. But I got a lot of them. But most of it, all of them, have like a percentage ticker on it that's showing that people got it. But a lot of these newer games coming out, especially from AA or indie studios, have really glitched out achievements. I don't know if that's because it's difficult to put in those triggers for achievements through Xbox. I don't know if that's just laziness on the devs part because they're not really paying attention to achievements, but it's a trend that I don't like to see because I love getting achievements and I hope more devs pay attention to that.
Well, it's just the last 2 games I've gone to 100%. This and Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
2 glitched achievements each.
Yeah.
And I'm getting frustrated that, like, hey, I want to participate in this ecosystem. Like, I enjoy these games enough to, like, commit more of my time to get all the achievements. You're not working with me here.
Yeah, Turnip Boy was even worse because you had to work for those achievements to find out that you couldn't get them. At least KO was just like you played through the game and you noticed it later on. Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's again, and in the chat, Jose Jimenez, he says, "Could you download the save file from the cloud?" I don't think so. I went and looked, and and from what I saw, there was only one save file available, and I'm pretty sure it's because it has an auto save feature. So I think when I loaded it back up, it auto saved over my cloud, right?
Yeah, that's
Again,
probably what happened.
that's another reason I don't like autosaves, to be honest with you. I always manually save my games, even if it's an autosave.
I mean, it's good if it's separated from the manual saves, but
Yeah.
yeah, obviously, I also do that where I just manually save whenever I can because I don't necessarily trust. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic traumatized me as a kid because their autosave feature was so awful, and you would have to go back like an hour if you didn't manually save. So ever since then, I've made sure to manually save in all my
Well,
games.
it's one of those things like I'm like OCD with save files. Like I'll
Yeah, me
save
too.
and then back out and then be like, did I save though? Go back in and like do it a second time
And
just
I
to
only
make sure.
allow one at a time. I'm not one of those people that does a separate save file
I
every
do one.
time you
Yep.
save.
I
That's
do one at a time. Do it one at a
insane.
time.
Yeah.
Uh, Jose in the chat says, "Damn, that's maybe one thing I appreciate about my PS5. It only updates the saves to cloud overnight, so I could read down the save to overwrite the present one." And
That's really smart.
some
Yeah.
games on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure they won't automatically upload unless you like set it to do that,
Huh.
and you can. I don't know. It's good, but like I don't like autosave only games because then things like this happen. Like
Yeah.
I don't know because I definitely knowing that KO is having save file issues, I would have made a second save just in case.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't have the option for that.
It really doesn't make sense to me cutting the player off from being able to manually save because I really don't think that's a really big deal to develop that and to program that into a game. So I just don't understand the reasoning behind that.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, and I'll have a full review out for that game, showing it off because I do think it's great. But I've been playing more Origami 2, still loving it. I'm in. I think I have 3 chapters left, and again, I don't know how long this is. This game is. I'm put about 15 hours in, and how long to beat says it's a 13-hour game. And I'm just like, I don't understand how anyone beat this game in 13 hours.
You guys are trying to stealth the whole thing, though, aren't you?
Yes, that's what I'm wondering. Is it like it's 13 hours? Did people just run through and fight everyone? Because like
Probably a good mix of it. I think most people probably don't just stealth it or just go
the
loud.
stealth is
There's a
the
healthy mix.
only fun part of this
I
game.
agree. I agree on that point.
So I'm gonna finish that, working towards it. I started and I've done one world of Sonic Colors Ultimate. I've been in a
Oh, I want to hear
big
this.
Sonic mood. I don't know. I know you've played it. Amon, have you
Yep.
played Sonic Colors?
Nope. The only Sonic games I've played are Sonic Adventures 1.
Okay.
I haven't played 2 either. But yeah.
Oh, you need to play 2. Well, at least you played 1. That's
Yeah, I
one of the
played
best
1.
ones for sure. But Sonic Ultimate or Sonic Colors Ultimate, I've played the one world, and so far I think it's fine. I think it's good. um, I don't think it's extraordinary in
Yeah.
any remark. It's 1,000% better than Sonic Forces was. So let me put that out there. But that's a pretty low bar. Okay. The story, they're like, we went to Eggman's amusement park because we know he's going to be doing some evil deeds. And I was like, wait, he didn't do anything to you? You were literally
Yeah.
just showing up to wreck his
Leave him
amusement park.
alone.
Like, you're picking a fight this time, Sonic. Like, leave the poor dude alone. Like, he's probably doing something evil, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
You can't punish someone before they do something.
Poor man.
So yeah, it's fun. It's Kyle in the chat says one positive game such as live service progress is kept server side for sure.
Yeah.
That is one of the benefits of live service games. Because I know Genshin Impact and I think Destiny too. I think Destiny your progress is kept server side as well. So that's always good. But I've been playing one other thing, but I can't talk about it.
Ooh.
We will have a review dropping 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Y'all gotta wait.
And that is all I can say, I believe, for a game that is coming out on Friday. And that's it. I don't want to break any embargo, so I'm going to stop talking now. But anyone else got anything they've been playing before we move on into the light news this week?
No, just keep us updated on Sonic Colors because for me that game was very mid, very very
Mid.
fine. it was not fun, but it was not bad.
For sure. Well, if there's nothing else, have a seat while I grab some books from the library and tell you this week's stories. So story number one actually comes from Jez Corden from Windows Central, but he was speaking on the Xbox 2 podcast. Jez says that he heard about a year ago that Indiana Jones would not be exclusive to Xbox, but says that things could have changed since he last heard. The Indiana Jones game was announced prior to the ZeniMax acquisition from Microsoft and is currently in development at Machine Games. I saw a lot of people talking about this. Jez, whenever he speaks, people consider him to have some inside information, and he
Yeah.
does have sources, and he's obviously shown to be a pretty reliable guy. But Amon, I want to throw it over to you first, since you've been a little quiet. What was your first reaction? Do you think that this is a bad thing if Indiana Jones isn't exclusive to Xbox?
Absolutely not, because I think most of us were expecting it not to be exclusive again, because it was announced prior to the acquisition. It is not an IP that Xbox owns, so definitely, I was pretty much spot on when I said, well, when we did our original reaction, I said it was no way it's going to be exclusive, because I just don't see the IP as big as Indiana Jones being like Lucasfilm locking it down to one platform. I think as it can be a timed exclusive, but a full exclusive, I highly doubt that.
Okay, Ethan, what's your take? Is this a bad look for Xbox not having a big IP exclusive to their platform?
No, I think it's perfectly fine. Like you were talking about, this is a game that's been in development since before the acquisition. Now, one blind spot in my knowledge of the video games industry is I'm not entirely sure when the deals are made for either exclusivity or whether it's going to be third party on all platforms come in a game's development. I don't know when that does that come really early, does that come later? I don't know. And I'm assuming since he got this info a year ago, this was very, very early in its development. So who knows? Things could have changed since
Mm-hmm.
then in that year since he got that info. But I feel like I'm with Amon on this. Most likely, this is just going to be on all platforms. I don't foresee this being an exclusive. I feel like if it was going to be an exclusive, we would have already heard about it by now. I think that would have been made known by the Xbox team that this was going to be exclusive, kind of like how immediately they came out and said Starfield's going to be exclusive and the next Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive and stuff like that. So I fully expect this to be on PlayStation systems.
That's okay. So that's interesting, because I was going to ask, do you when Jez says that it's not going to be exclusive, we know when speaking about Xbox, all their games also go to PC. So you often hear, it's not exclusive because it's on multiple, it's on Xbox and PC. That's why the term console exclusive has come about, right?
Right.
Me personally, I clearly think it's going to be on PC. It'd be dumb not to. That's just an Xbox
Yeah.
standard. I think this most likely is going to be multi-platform for consoles as well. I think this will be on PlayStation 5, much like we saw Ghostwire and Deathloop. I think they'll come to PS5, but obviously not
Right.
time exclusive like those games were. But I have to ask why anyone really cares. And I'm not saying that just because like I don't rate Indiana Jones. I don't think he's like super relevant. I'm saying
Yeah.
it because if you're in the Xbox ecosystem, you're getting it day one in Game Pass anyway. So why do you care if it's exclusive?
Yeah, I don't think anybody who's serious really cares. I think the people that are just kind of toxic in the terms of the console wars really care about this. I'm fine if games are multi-platform. I don't care if Xbox comes out tomorrow and says every game they're developing is now on PlayStation. It's just more exposure, more money in the pockets for Xbox, and we get to continue playing amazing games. But Happy Cloud Gamer made a good point in the comments saying Indiana Jones will be day and date Game Pass and not on PlayStation. I think it will be on PlayStation, but the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass, that's going to be the card that Xbox is going to play on this. Is you're going to be able to play this day and date with your subscription on Xbox. So even if their games from their studios are going to be multi-platform, we will always have the leg up in the competition in terms of accessibility and the amount of players that are going to access this game.
Amon, building off Ethan's point there, this is kind of the same situation we're
Yeah.
seeing with Call of Duty, right? Where Call of
Yep.
Duty we know is
Yeah.
going to remain multi-platform, but the draw is that you're going to get it on Game Pass instead of $70 on PlayStation, right?
Yeah, it's just console war ammunition. Like people who really care about that stuff just want to use it as ammo to fire back at Sony. So yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think the most important takeaway from this is that it's going to be day one on Game Pass. And that's what matters to me personally.
It's funny you say that because Jose Jimenez in the chat says, "Yeah, but how will there be console wars without exclusivity? What will the gamers cry about then?"
We would all lose our
Sarcasm.
jobs.
We don't have any podcasts anymore.
There's no more content.
I've really become tuned. I first of all, I'm tuning out a lot of console war nonsense these days.
You have to.
Unfortunately, our Project XTalk Twitter account, a lot of the people we follow tend to participate in that. So I kind of stay off that account besides tweeting out like our content. My personal account is very curated to avoid all that. It's just I don't understand. Like, there's so much negativity and people are like tuning in and eating it up. And then I think there's like so many better and positive shows with like actual constructive things to talk about besides of just like complaining. And it's like console wars is still like, as much as we're like, oh, don't participate, there are a lot of people still participating in this nonsense.
Yeah, I feel there's a difference between being healthy and just supporting, the platform that you enjoy playing and being toxic about it. Like you can root for your platform and you can believe that one is better than the other. Like for me, obviously, I'm on an Xbox podcast. I believe Xbox is the best place to play. I think it's the best company out there for gaming. That doesn't mean I think Sony is trash and PlayStation is trash and all the people who play PlayStation are trash. That's just not true. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have that, amplified version of negativity in them that they look at those people as the enemy and not as just, oh, they're, corporate competitors, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can praise your own platform without belittling the other platform or attacking the other platform's fan base. That's the main thing here. And I see a lot of people doing that, PlayStation fans, as soon as something Xbox does wrong, they hit at it. Same with Xbox fans. When PlayStation does something wrong, they go hit at it. So yeah, I think that's...
It's just you know what I would like to see, and then like just to make all the fanboys mad is Indiana Jones launch into Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
Oh, that
launch
would be
into both.
interesting.
Then what are you going to argue about? All right, they're going to be like,
I don't know.
Xbox gets a extra frame in this cutscene or something like some
okay, I can tell you exactly what they're gonna argue about. PlayStation fans are gonna be like, "Oh, Xbox is so incompetent. They can't. They can't. Their games can't do well without being on PlayStation or PlayStation Plus.
They can't lock down their own first-party studios."
Yep, that's
like,
exactly
what are
what's
you
gonna
talking
happen.
Oh my god, man! I just want everyone to play games, and Indiana Jones like clearly is going to appeal to a lot of people. Maybe the older crowd more than the younger crowd. I don't know how much appeal Indiana Jones has these days, right?
I love Indiana Jones.
You guys are younger.
I do agree.
Okay,
It's
I
Harrison
do
Ford.
agree with that. Yeah,
It's Harrison Ford.
but
I
like-
love Harrison Ford.
but like there hasn't been anything related to Indiana Jones in the last decade or so. So
Yeah, since the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what connection do the modern day gamers have with it?
Yeah.
I did see a screenshot from the new movie came out the other day, so it's coming in, or it's coming. I don't know, coming in.
How
That's
is
not a word.
like an 80-year-old Harrison Ford still playing that character? I'm still confused about
Still
that.
doing
Why
his
did
own
they just,
stunts. He's
why
awesome.
didn't they just recast it?
He's
Timeless,
whatever.
man.
He's timeless. He'll be doing it when he's 100, Amon.
No, and he's also the type of person who just goes and attacks the Star Wars franchise and the Indiana Jones franchise whenever he's on a talk show. He's like, so I think it was Jimmy Fallon. He asked him, "Will you be returning as a Force Ghost?" He's like, "What the F is that?" So it's like that's hilarious.
He's an eccentric person.
Yeah.
Do we think this could be quick? Do we think Harrison Ford is going to be involved in this game in any way, shape, or form?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I don't know. It is Bethesda we're talking about here. I mean, this is a fairly big AAA project. We've seen these game companies be able to pull plenty of voice actors.
Yeah, I hear they got Tom Cruise for Starfield. Remember that rumor?
Oh. No, I don't remember that. Was that really a rumor?
Yeah, that was a legitimate rumor.
Tom Cruise
I
voice
think
actor.
Bethesda,
Starfield.
because like the Bethesda account tweeted out in like 2013 that at Tom Cruise, would you like to voice in our next project? So everyone was
He
like,
just
"Oh my
probably
God, it's
never
Starfield."
responded.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
like, "What's up, Bethesda?"
What's Bethesda? Is that a town in Maryland? I don't know.
uh, Happy Cloud Gamer in the chat said, "I really hope Indiana Jones is not first person." And Polybaba said, "If Indiana Jones is first person, that's going to be a huge L."
Yeah, this
I
should
don't
be
think it will be.
Xbox's Uncharted. It really
Mhm.
should. This should just be Xbox's Uncharted
Okay.
series.
I don't think it'll be that bad if it was first person. Because Machine Games, again, they're really good at making first-person shooters.
Yeah.
But I think the rope mechanic, the Indiana Jones has that rope thingy, and the revolver. I think those mechanics could work pretty well with first-person. I'm not saying it would be better as first-person, but it wouldn't be. I wouldn't be like disappointed if it was first-person.
I don't know. I feel like Indiana Jones, a game with Indiana Jones in it, is going to involve a lot of platforming and a lot of puzzles.
Yep.
And I would really prefer that to be in third person, in all honesty.
Fair enough.
Just rip off Uncharted. Like,
yeah,
just straight
that's what
up.
I'm saying.
Don't,
Like,
don't
this is
even,
Uncharted Xbox
don't even try to
edition.
hide it. Like, just Machine Games should be
licensed Uncharted.
playing through the Uncharted games right now, and they're like, "All right, write that down. Write that down.
Write that down." That's funny.
Sheva Rooney says, "Rope? You
You
mean
a
whip,
right?
right? Yeah.
Come on. It's a bull whip.
Same thing.
All right, guys. Let's move into story number 2. Game Pass update for June. And I want to note, this was only for the first 7 days of June, because clearly we're going to get a bunch at the showcase, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Like, they clearly...
We'll do all our predictions next week, but I think that's going to be
Yes.
part of it. A lot of Game Pass announcements.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, the show schedule is going to be a little hectic the next couple of weeks. And so tomorrow we're doing State of Play. Next Wednesday, we're going to do our prediction show for the showcase. Thursday, we're going to react to Summer Game Fest. And then Sunday, we're going to live react to the Xbox Showcase.
Busy
week. Check our Twitter, check all the, the scheduled live streams here on YouTube and Twitch. So we will be there watching all of it. You can come join us, hang out. But for sure, Xbox is going to have some Game Pass drops. But let's see what they dropped for the first week, because I think, guys, it looks pretty good. Available today, you have For Honor Marching Fire Edition for cloud, console, PC. Tomorrow, you get Ninja Gaiden Master Collection for console and PC. June 7th, you get Assassin's Creed Origins cloud, console, and PC with a 60 frames per second update. You get Chorus cloud, console, PC, Disc Room cloud, console, PC, Space Lines from the Far Out console and PC. So, Aman, any of those piquing your interest?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like almost 3 of them. Assassin's Creed Origins, first of all, because I've never played about it, and on our Discord, people just keep raving about that game. So I might check it out. Chorus, that's the game that I think was first revealed back in like an Xbox showcase in 2020. So yeah, I'm interested in checking that out. And the Ninja Gaiden collection. I've never played a Ninja Gaiden game. So yeah, curious to see what they're like.
Well, let me tell you what a Ninja Gaiden game is like, because that's one of the ones I'm looking forward to. Ninja Gaiden is like Dark Souls if you sped it up 100 times. These games are brutally hard and fast. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally what they're designed to be. Like, they're meant to be challenging games played in very fast speed. And I love them. I'm not a Souls guy, but I love the Ninja Gaiden games.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden's a huge pickup. That's a blast from the past right there. That's really exciting to see. It'll be interesting to pick that up again as an adult, because I know as a kid it was just a mess and I couldn't beat it. There was no way I was beating those games. I don't know why I even tried.
It's funny you say that, because I'm literally sitting here. I'm like, I'm gonna pick it up, but I don't know if I can actually beat them, because I couldn't beat them as a kid.
No, absolutely not. And it'll be interesting to see how much I've improved in my video game skills. So it'll be interesting. For me, the other 2 that are definitely big are Chorus. That is a game that I actually bought. I have a physical copy of that. I really enjoyed it. I played through the whole game. I thought the story was really deep and interesting. The spaceborne combat was really fun. It got kind of slow at parts. So but if you skip dialogue and, just get through some stuff, it's a really fast paced, exciting kind of spaceship simulator action game. And then Assassin's Creed Origins. This is a game much like Odyssey that I sunk hundreds of hours into, 100%ed completely. Got all the DLC for. This is the best Assassin's Creed out of the modern trilogy of Assassin's Creeds, not counting the old ones because I consider them completely separate entities. They're just different games. I think Egypt as a video game setting is probably one of my top 3 favorite video game settings in the world. And then especially during the period of which it's in, which is called the Ptolemaic period, where the Greeks were kind of in charge of Egypt. So you have that mix of Greek culture and ancient Egyptian culture. And then the DLCs for it are awesome. You're fighting like ancient pharaohs and stuff like that, traveling to different, areas of Egyptian lore and like mythology. It's just so fun. Such a big, vast game. And it's really exciting. I hope to see a lot of cool adventures in the desert later on. I'm definitely gonna pick it up at 60 FPS.
That's funny you say Assassin's Creed Origin is the best, because people I've talked to say Odyssey is the best of the modern trilogy.
There's a lot of people that'll tell you Odyssey, because honestly they're both really, really good games. Valhalla's not even in the question. That was kind of a flop. It was okay, but like it's not even in the question of Odyssey and Origins. But I think it also has to do with like your aesthetic, because both games are fairly similar in terms of combat. Or Odyssey is a little bigger, but Odyssey, of course, there's a lot of seaborne battles. There's a lot of sailing. It's a lot of islands, while Egypt is a lot of deserts and mountain regions and stuff like that. They play as 2 very different games, but essentially their styles are the same. But I think Origins for me is better because it's shorter. It's not 150 hours like Odyssey is. It's a lot easier to consume. So I think Origins is a good place to start.
Yeah, I remember playing Odyssey. I think that was one of the better Assassin's Creed games. I don't think it's a very good game. I thought it was a fun game to spend 20-ish hours in. I never beat it, but yeah, it was a fun experience. And one more thing, I was just Googling Ninja Gaiden games, and I did play one. I did play Yaiba Ninja Gaiden X, if that's the one, or Ninja Gaiden Z. I think it's a spin-off, but yeah, I remember playing that on my Xbox 360.
Never heard this before in my life.
It was pretty good. The main reason I think I picked it up was because I thought the character design looked really cool. So yeah.
Well, let's check in with the chat. Alpaca Tom's here. He's calling me out for playing Ninja Gaiden, but not Elden Ring. Says someone's strangling.
I got you, Tom. I got you, Tom.
All right. He also recognizes Ninja Gaiden Black was the best. Absolutely.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
He tells Mon to wake up. And then Polybaba.
It's 2 a.m. here, all right?
Oh, hot damn. Yeah. Polybaba and Havoc both checking in saying Odyssey was there.
Okay, fair enough.
What was the best Assassin's Creed? Happy Cloud Gamer says Super Mario Odyssey.
Good take.
Absolutely. So make sure to check that out. I'm going to be looking for Chorus as well, because I played the demo of that game. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little difficult. I'm clearly not good at like space combat fighting. So but I thought the story sounded interesting. So my plan is to just put it on easy, fly around, shoot some ships, get through the story, just have a good, relaxing, chill time with that, especially if I'm playing Ninja Gaiden at the same time, which
you got to take a breather.
I'll probably rage quit Ninja Gaiden and then switch over to Chorus. So hopefully those work in quick resume and I can just quickly pop over and calm down.
Yeah.
But Jose Jimenez over on Twitch says, and Bayek's story was better, in my opinion.
Bayek is the main story of or the main character of Origins, and he's probably one of the best characters in games, period. I think he is voiced amazingly. His story is incredible. I forget the exact title that he holds, but he's basically this protector in ancient Egypt, and he's one of the last ones because the Greek culture is kind of overtaking that ancient Egyptian culture. But it's so interesting to watch him go through and live out that life. I absolutely adore Origins.
Wait, how long did you say this game was?
I 100%ed it in about 90 hours.
100%. Okay, what about the main story?
Main story you could probably get through in 45.
Okay, no, that's not bad.
Right. And Odyssey's a lot longer. 100% that was about 150 hours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're over here like that's not bad. I'm like, that's way too long to spend on Assassin's Creed. All right.
There's a lot to do. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. If you're just blasting through the main story and not even touching anything else, then I don't know how that might be a lot quicker. I just couldn't tell you. There's just so much to do outside the main story that it's hard for me to even comprehend not doing those things.
I just can't get into Assassin's Creed. Like, it just doesn't appeal to me. And it's weird because I love Prince of Persia, and clearly, like, older Assassin's Creed was inspired directly from Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
But they changed it too much, and it's like I don't connect with the story, and there's nothing driving me forward. But I'm glad everyone else seems to love these games. But Ubisoft, you haven't made a weekly reminder. Ubisoft, you haven't made a good game since 2013. Let's get it together,
to him,
Ubisoft.
Right? Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
No.
You haven't made a good game since Odyssey. That's
Rayman Legends asterisks. All right.
Hey, we're getting Mario and Rabbids coming up.
I don't care about that game. Okay.
What? You're wild. Come on now.
I didn't play the first one. And again, Mario sucks. Hashtag Team Luigi.
Wow. Okay. Moving on. Make sure to check out those games in the showcase, where hopefully A Plague Tale Requiem will be out day and date at the showcase. Yeah.
Because that's my prediction on the Xbox Drive. And I need to win. Sean and Ryan, if you're listening, which
didn't they already announce the release date for that? Wasn't it like July 2022?
No, there was a leak, but then there's leaks saying June 17. It's like there's a bunch of weird leaks, so I don't really know when it's coming. But just some quick fire news here for our last story, and then we will get on out of here. First story. Starting this month, you'll now be able to reveal secret achievements from the Xbox menu.
Yes.
This is Ethan,
big.
You're excited.
This is huge because everybody in the world just goes to third-party apps to look at secret achievements. Nobody actually plays a game long enough to see if you could get this achievement or whatever the message is for the secret achievement. Just let me see what it is so that I can knock it out. So this is something really happy, and I can delete a couple apps from my phone and take less time off my day, off my playtime.
Shout out True Achievements.
True Achievements. Love you.
For always telling me.
I'll still use your guides.
So guys, I gotta admit something here.
Uh-oh.
I do look up. I use True Achievements to look up achievements, like the secret ones, which thank God they're adding this. Especially if you're an achievement hunter, this is going to be a godsend. PlayStation has had this for years.
Have they?
Yeah, you could reveal trophies for years. I don't know what's taken so long. Xbox has really fallen behind the achievements compared to PlayStation. Like we need a platinum equivalent. That's a whole side conversation. But my confession is when I have to look up a guide, I use Power Picks or PSN profiles. I don't.
Oh, so you do the PlayStation?
I do the PlayStation one.
Yeah,
I think they're better.
Power Picks is amazing.
I think they're better websites. I don't know.
I haven't looked at it. I need to check it out because I'd be willing to do it. Yeah,
Power Picks does have a YouTube channel, and that's amazing. Like they show you exactly how to get the trophy.
The guides on True Achievements are just fans, right? Like it's just random people and who. Oh, it is. It's the same way. Whoever gets the most upvotes is showcased and stuff like that.
No, so it's the person that runs the websites, like that. Whoever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the fans is telling.
Because on True Achievement, it's just comments down. Like it's not a singular person doing it. It's just whoever gets to it first, they can write a guide.
So these have comments that tell you like if it's bugged or like stuff like that. But no, this is like someone who runs the site. They're playing all these games and doing.
I'm gonna have to check it out then.
I just think they're better written, and like they sometimes have videos that go along with them.
If it's the same achievement, why not?
It is. So
one thing I will say about True Achievements though is they have the 100% achievement walkthroughs on some games, where it'll literally tell you exactly what to do throughout an entire game. So if you're just on an achievement hunting mood and you're playing a game maybe you don't necessarily care about, being able to go through and just go line by line and do everything you need to do to get all the achievements in a game, that's really fun to do.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, the second piece of little quick fire news we got here is Xbox Design Labs is currently down, and it gives you a message that it will be back soon with some changes, leading to speculation of an announcement at the showcase. Obviously, today they announced that they're doing a Pride controller that you can get from their June 9th. So I'm kind of thinking like is this where we get an Elite Series 3 that you can customize? Are they going to let you customize the Elite Series 2? Are they going to add like
Yeah.
haptics or something? What do
I
you
wouldn't go that far. I don't know about the haptics, but I think
No?
I hope they really do expand this into you're able to customize all different types of first party Xbox controllers. It doesn't really make sense to me why you can't already. You have to get the generic controller to customize, but I would love to see it because I don't have one of those Elite Series controllers yet. So I would like to get a custom one if I want to buy one.
They're a little too expensive, and some of the quality, they have some quality control issues for those controllers from what I've heard from people.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. So just be cautious. Aman, what are you thinking? What's something that could Xbox Design Labs could offer that would justify them going down like this?
I don't know really because I'm not a controller collector. I use basically the same controller for like the entire generation unless it breaks. But yeah,
Here's my Xbox One controller.
Absolutely wild.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe do they still have that color thing where you can customize your the color of your controller?
Yeah, that's Design Labs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's still a
that
thing,
is
right?
gross.
This is a cool controller. Don't even start. For those of you on audio, I have a badass Republic fighter pilot, like X-Wing sort of controller from Star Wars Squadrons. It's so cool.
Okay. But yeah, I think they did shut that service off for a bit, didn't they? Design Labs.
Yeah, and then they relaunched it for the Series X controllers.
Right, okay. I don't really know what they can do with it at this point. Probably. So yeah, maybe an Elite Series 3 could come out with haptics. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I just can't see Xbox doing haptics. It just, I don't know.
They did file a patent though, didn't they?
Doesn't seem like anything they've been interested in.
They did that survey.
Yeah,
asking
and they
people,
did file
like-
a patent like a year ago. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Phil Spencer's talked about like how he thinks the DualSense is great, and like
Yeah,
maybe
I did
they
hear
look
that,
at
yeah.
something like that, and then they sent out that survey. It's like, do you like the PlayStation 5 controller? And I was like, first of all, as someone with both, the PS5 controller is cool, but like you get over it very quickly.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
what I figured.
I'm just
Like
like,
you
okay,
play,
okay.
what is it, Astrobot's Playroom, that preloaded
Amazing.
one. Yeah,
Amazing
that
experience.
when I played that with that DualShock controller, I was like, holy cow, this is a whole different level of gaming. But from what I hear, a lot of games aren't taking advantage of it, or they aren't doing it to the
No.
quality of that little tech demo. So kind of
No.
disappointing.
Yeah, most first of all, I don't really like vibration. I turn vibration off in most games.
What? You're a
Yeah,
madman.
I hate it.
You
I
kids.
hate controllers vibrating in my hand.
I changed the batteries before they die so I can keep the vibration on. No,
No.
you gotta have that oomph feeling when you're shooting a gun or something.
I do like the feedback in the triggers. Like when
Yeah.
you're doing a bow or like resistance, like that is cool, but not applicable. Like turn that off if it's like a competitive shooter, because that's just
Yeah.
getting in your way. But I don't know. I would like to see that implemented into an Xbox controller, but then you split the player base, right? Because not ever like the millions of people that already have Series X and S, they're either gonna have to buy a brand new controller or go without it. So like if you start developing games for those features, then some of your player base is going to miss out on those features.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't think it necessarily makes sense because it's not like the haptic controllers are what's selling the Xbox. Like that's not what people are flocking to Xbox for. Now, and I don't think that's what people are flocking to PlayStation for either. I think it's just kind of a luxury item. Maybe next generation explore those options, but I think for this generation, just stick with the tried and classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Which is why I lean towards Elite Series 3 being the more likely choice. It's Kyle says, all I know is my Xbox controller has it broken, but the PS5 haptic triggers became super loose and had stick drift, much like Joy-Cons. That's also another issue where if you like the resistance on the trigger, the spring will break and then your trigger's broken. But it's like pushing down on it, you don't know if it's like, okay, is this intended or is this like breaking? Because it's like you don't know. Like,
Yeah, I will say Xbox controllers are troopers. You know, I don't think I've ever had one break in the previous generation or this generation yet. Xbox 360, I had a few broken controllers, but that's because I was younger and I would throw them playing Modern Warfare 2. But you know, I destroyed them.
I've never broken a controller.
Yeah, I never get people who just smash a controller. Like,
listen,
how?
you just got to let it out sometimes. And
No,
back then, those controllers were like $20-$30. They weren't like $70 like they are nowadays. Modern, like, you know, marvels of technology. Yes, back then it was just a shell of plastic with a crappy circuit board, and it was nothing.
I meant I've never had a broken controller. Like all my controllers have worked completely. Like
I've broken my PlayStation controllers a couple of times,
Yeah,
but
PlayStation
not out of
will break
rage.
a lot.
Not out of rage. Just
that's
like,
just because they were
just
plastic, cheap plastic.
Yeah.
PS2 controllers used to break all the time. Those you were going through those like once every 4 months.
I just got my PS3 a couple of months ago, and I broke one of the controllers.
Good Lord!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I know I called them cheap plastic, but I don't think they're that bad. All right. Like, okay. Jose says my original PS5 controller had drift. Yep.
Crazy.
Tom, damn Kevin, you don't throw your controller when you're mad. Never in your life. No, I've never thrown a controller.
Crazy.
First of all, because I don't really get mad at video games. If I like get frustrated,
that's why you lose, Kevin, every time.
Again, I've told the story. My brother threw a controller at the wall playing FIFA, and when he was winning, and proceeded to say, "It's not about winning; it's about sending a message." Okay, so I don't understand people that throw controllers. They're expensive. It doesn't help you in any way because you gotta go get your controller. If you're playing online, like you're probably losing worse now. I don't get it. All right, you're making poor choices.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like when I was younger, if I broke a controller, I knew my parents weren't getting me another controller. So I'm like, I gotta keep this safe at all costs.
You gotta wait a month.
Yep.
They're precious.
Okay, well, guys, that is all we have for this week. If you liked the show, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us if you're over on Twitch. We appreciate every one of you coming out. We had a good audience today. I loved interacting with chat. I loved everyone that stopped by. Thank you so much for coming by, interacting with us. It really does make the podcast a lot more fun, for me anyway. I assume everyone else feels that way. Remember, guys, schedule on our Twitter. We will be doing live react to State of Play tomorrow, and then check everything else. We're going to be live Wednesdays and for all the showcases.
It's going to be busy.
Pseudo E3 is kicking off. But Ethan, where can they find you?
They can find me at WhiteCedar1 on Twitter and Gravy3448 on Xbox.
And Amon, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Amon_M05.
Amon, enjoy the rest of your vacation, buddy. In the meanwhile, you guys can find me at the Muffin Mon, so 1-7, Ein, and 0-7A. Follow us at Project XTalk to stay up to date with all of our latest. Until next week, we will see you. Goodbye.